Another 2 turnovers today. Can you just talk about what the defense did right to, once again win the turnover mark?
Yeah, I mean, we just put an emphasis on it, and that's where our focus is right now. Every time we're going in to make a tackle, the next man's coming in looking for the ball. And, sometimes it just works like that. We're on a hot streak right now, so we're going to try to keep that going.
I believe it was like 10 points within the first 2 quarters, and then you held them to no points for the rest. What was kind of the mindset that kind of flipped the defense into just holding them out for the rest of the game?
We made the adjustments in the halftime. We came in and, we got on everybody. It was everybody's at the point of attack, and, it's going to come down to everybody on the same page and playing together.
What does these wins, down the wire, obviously 2 straight wins, what do they mean to you and just kind of setting the tone for the team just ending the season?
It's everything. It's for a lot of people, this is our last time strapping it up together. So, we're playing together, play with pride, and just, like I said, this is our last time together. So, taking pride in that.
Was there anybody in particular from today, whether it's in the secondary or just defensive line that really stood out to you that, really impressed you today with the performance?
It's, a lot of stuff happened, but Trayvon had a couple hits away from the ball. Somebody came to block him, and he smashed him. He does that a lot.
You want to talk about your tackle towards the end of the game, kind of knocked it out. It was a pretty clean hit. What did you see right there?
Me and Spill were talking about it before the play. We kind of had a feeling what was going to happen, and, it happened. Quarterback was looking that way, so, he takes me to the ball.
When you go back to training camp, this was kind of the blueprint that you guys had for winning. Play clean offensively, force some turnovers, success on third down defense and offense. I know it's kind of taken a little bit of a little while, but how satisfying is it that you were able and are able to draw up that blueprint?
It feels good because we talk about it all the time in the defense room. We want to be playing our best football in December. And, regardless of the situation, if we're playing for something or not, we want to be playing our best individually and as a team. So, it feels good. Yep.
I think as somebody just said, it was your first 100-yard game in the National Football League. Is that accurate?
Yeah, man, it is. I was just telling Alex that I've always been kind of like a multi-purpose guy. I've never really gotten that type of load of carries. Maybe sometimes early in my career, in Detroit. But, yeah.
How does it feel? Was it today just one of those days you were in your zone?
Man, I felt like, honestly, we were just beating them up front. I feel like our guys leaned on them. They understood when to come off on double teams. When you kind of have that type of synergy, with the O-line and backs, we just do our job. Myself and Alex, we hit it with good timing. You're going to fall for it. 5 yards here, 6 yards here. Then you start, popping some stuff off. So we felt like the O-line had an advantage.
Amir, you guys had a difficult travel day yesterday.
Yeah.
What, as a veteran, to tell the younger players, hey, this is not time to make an excuse, just kind of roll with it. Was that sort of the message?
Yeah, man, I think everyone kind of came in with a healthy level of detachment. So I think a lot of guys let the nerves and stuff go, and they let a lot of people play free. A lot of big plays were made.
What does it say about the character of this team? No quit, just continues to fight, scrap, and crawl.
I think for one, it just speaks to how much we care about one another. We're not playing for anything other than each other right now, and I think that's enough for everyone to put some stuff on the line, play through some nicks and bruises, and execute at the highest level when they called on. And I couldn't be more proud of how these guys came out today.
When people ask AP about you guys fighting for him and playing hard for him, he just says it's not about me. But it is about him. You guys love him and you care about him. Will you talk about what AP means to this team?
He's been a guy who's been a pillar, since he was thrown into the job last year in the interim role. He's a guy that's been consistent, in his messaging to us. He's a guy that's played, in this league a long time, so he knows what it's supposed to look like and what good football feels like. So I feel like that alone kind of holds us to a level of accountability of this guy's done it at the highest level and Super Bowl, level. So you definitely don't want to let him down.
Amir, you got a young teammate in Brock Bowers who's doing a little bit of an assault on the record book. Are you past the point where you're impressed or amazed by what he's doing?
Man, I'm more amazed by just the individual he is, the person he is. He handles all the spotlight and all the attention he's getting very well. He's a guy who doesn't, get too high or too low. He comes and he has the same routine every day. Actually, I've learned a lot, from Brock being here, just being a guy, Northern California guy, kind of just bring your your lunch to work type of guy, and I really respect that because you can tell that he's never satisfied. He's happy with with things that are going on, but he's never satisfied with the outcome.
What does it mean for you not only just have the game that you had, but also see your teammates around you really rally around you and support you with the game that you had as well?
Man, this is probably one of the closest teams I've been on. From just a relationship standpoint, we really care about each other. We've been through some lows. We've been through some lows, so we've seen each other at very vulnerable moments. We know how hard each one of us worked to be in this situation. So for God to call upon me today to be the one that's kind of picked up on my teammates, I'm forever grateful. But I know those guys are happy for me, and I'm just proud to call myself a Raider and to share the locker room with these guys.
You've been around a long time, and when you talk about the maturation of Aiden O'Connell, I mean, he's showing his feet, he's making the right reads. Just some of it, people don't understand. Young players just have to get reps.
They don't, man. This is only his second year, man. This dude, he's a ball player, man. He's so wicked smart. He understands timing, and I think that's the most critical thing for any quarterback, knowing when to get the ball out quick. You hit that back foot or whatever, it's a three-step drop, five-step drop. When and where you need to get that ball out, he's doing it. He's a guy who only gets better with more time.
You mentioned how close the team was. Is that a reason why you guys have been able to win 2 in a row after losing 10, you think?
Yeah, I think we've been right there in some games that we didn't come up with some of those plays, and I think just the difference is making some of those plays. And those third down conversions, running the ball, I think is huge, and I think just that trust in one another comes from that camaraderie we have.
When you're having a career best.
One more, guys.
Yeah, career best rushing production in a game in your 10th season. And you think about, do you think about all the discipline, perseverance it takes to be a running back for 10 years in the NFL, and how satisfying it is?
Yeah, man. Me and Alex we joke about it all the time. He's a father, but I say my unborn children have no clue. They have no clue what type of work goes into playing running back in the NFL. It's not easy because when you're hot, they want to give you the ball more and more and more, and you got to kind of dig deep. You got to find something within to continue to deliver for your team, even when you're getting worn down. So, like you said, to have my career high in year 10, I'm not surprised by it. I think if you guys knew me to the level that Alex Madison knows me, a lot of guys, I put a lot of work in. I'm very consistent, and that's why I've been able to do it so long and still do it at the high level. So I'm happy for it, but I still think there's a lot more out there for me. Appreciate it.
Just talk about the overall effort from the offense today. Over 20 points, things were really clicking today.
Yeah, just like you said, things were clicking. Aiden did really well. I think what I was most impressed with was the run game. It just seemed like every time we was running the ball, it was 6, 7, 8 yards. And obviously all year we haven't been that great in the run game, but to see that, pop off today and really see Ameer do his thing, because we all know he can do it. And the O-line, man, they did their thing. And, if that's how the game goes, then you could just keep doing that. We just keep running the ball until they stop it, and it also helped us in the pass game too.
You talk about your touchdown. Was that kind of like, were you planning on being there in that spot, or was it kind of just a broken down play and Aiden was just able to find you?
Kind of both. Planning to be in that spot, I saw the corner kind of grab on the mic, and then Aiden just did a phenomenal job of rolling out to the left and seeing me, and then just throwing it up and giving me an opportunity to catch it.
Obviously, you're used a lot more as a deep threat, really of those deep balls. But today you were doing a lot of things kind of in the intermediate game to really kind of get in between the numbers. Can you just talk about your development in that area of your game?
Yeah, I think it makes it hard when people have to cover me, because at any moment I can go deep and I can also do the intermediate and short game stuff. So that's one thing that I really wanted to work on this year, is just being a kind of all-around guy, not just being a deep ball guy, because people get the hang of that and then they'll just play off. But you kind of got them right where you want them, because they don't know what you're doing.
Just late in the season, what does a win like this kind of mean for the morale of the team, and what tone do you think it sets?
It's been a hell of a year. It's been a hell of a year. We've been through a lot. Super close games. Could have beat a lot of teams that we played, but this is the NFL, and there's a lot of things that go into it. Not turning the ball over, being able to run the ball, being efficient, playing complementary football. So I think these last 2 wins are, kind of a sign of that, of what it would look like if we all play together in all 3 phases of the game. And it's always good to win. So very, very excited.
Last 2 weeks for this team, what's kind of stood out for you the last 2 weeks as far as the team effort?
You guys probably seen it all year. Hell, we were, 2-12 at one point. At any point, you could start thinking about Cancun or whatever it may be in the off season. But and that's a credit to AP because we still came in every day and worked, man. And I can tell you, not one time when I'm like, oh man, I'm ready for the off season. You know, I'm just like, damn, I want to win. So it's just been, like I said, a hell of a year, and to get these 2 wins these past 2 weeks, I mean, it just felt great because, man, we needed it.
A lot of speculation on TV about his future. Do you guys hear that noise from the outside, or?
I don't really, look into all that stuff, man. I try to, stay away from it. But, this is the business. You get it. I mean, we're 2-12. I can, it's a lot of things. A lot of fingers can get pointed a bunch of different ways. But I know personally, I love AP, and I was standing on the table for him. And I think he's a great coach. It's an organizational effort to win a football game. Obviously, we're the ones out there playing. But it's a lot of things that go in through week in and week out. So we just need to all do a better job. And we have these past 2 weeks.
From Ameer last few weeks.
He's a dog. I mean, I knew that when I first seen him because everybody's always like, are you and Ameer related? So he's a dog, man. And I was just really excited to see him go for over 100 because I know he's been wanting to do that all year. And early in the season, he didn't get that many touches. So I know this meant a lot to him. And when we kind of looked at the yardage on the sideline, I just kind of was like, man, like, he was toting that thing. But it's also really cool to see out there because I'm out there with him. And I'm just watching him bloop, 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 running through a bunch of stuff. And it's really cool to see when your run game's clicking like that.
It's a 10-0 event. It's his first one. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he deserves it. Like I said, he comes into work. I mean, this is year like 50 for him. So to be able to still do that at a high level, man, is very impressive. And for a guy like me in year 2, it definitely take a lot of notes from him.
Appreciate it.